Major announcement in the first meeting of the top leaders of Quad countries. Foreign Ministry says that US vaccines will be manufactured in India. The meeting also a strong message to China. Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is out of hospital in a wheelchair. Doctors say that she's been discharged after her repeated requests. Her arch-rival Suvendu Adhikari files nomination from Nandigram. Both party delegations meet the poll panel. Actor politician Kamal Haasan announces electoral debut to contest from Coimbatore South. Stalin's son also contesting for the first time. Now a Tihar jail connection to Ambani explosives mystery. A link to jailed Indian Mujahideen terrorist emerges. India's COVID cases up by 250% in the last 4 weeks. Maharashtra reports over 15,000 cases. WHO says AstraZeneca vaccine is safe. AstraZeneca says there's no risk of blood clot. And biggest wealth surge in 2021 for Gautam Adani. According to Bloomberg Billionaires Index, Adani's wealth surge has beaten that of Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. Hello and welcome to NDTV 24/7. I'm Govt. Wellington. Let's begin with our top story. The first meeting of top leaders of Quad countries was held on Friday. It was a virtual meeting between Prime Minister Modi, US President Joe Biden and Prime Ministers of Japan and Australia. The Prime Minister spoke of shared democratic values and President Biden talked of commitment to governance by international law. The meeting itself was a strong message to China. Now, one of the major takeaways the government announced after the meeting was that US vaccines will be manufactured in India.
The United States' technological prowess in manufacturing quality vaccines. US vaccines will be manufactured in India. India's manufacturing capabilities and capacity has been recognized in this regard. I did mention to you that each of the other three Quad leaders made it a point to talk about the success of India's vaccine Maitri program, our endeavor to supply vaccines all over the world despite our own domestic requirements. So you will have financing from the US and Japan, and you will have Australia contributing towards last mile and logistical delivery issues.
And we're launching an ambitious new joint partnership that is going to boost vaccine manufacturing and for the global benefit and strengthen vaccinations to benefit the entire Indo-Pacific. We're establishing a new mechanism to enhance our cooperation and raise our mutual ambitions as we address accelerating climate change. And we're renewing our commitment to ensure that our region is governed by international law, committed to holding universal values and free from coercion. We've got a big agenda ahead of us, gentlemen, as you well know, but I'm optimistic about our prospects. The Quad is going to be a vital arena for cooperation in the Indo-Pacific, and I look forward to working closely with all of you in the coming years. And now, Prime Minister Modi, I'm kicking it over to you. And again, it's great to see you.
It is good to be among the friends. I thank President Biden for this initiative. Excellencies, we are united by our democratic values and our commitment to a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific. Our agenda today, covering areas like vaccines, climate change and emerging technologies, make the Quad a force for global good.
Prime Minister Modi's first virtual meet with the new US President Joe Biden.
Namaste. Good morning.
Along with Australian PM Scott Morrison and Japan's PM Suga for the first leader-level meeting of the Quad group of nations. The virtual summit is also seen as part of a larger diplomatic effort to balance China's growing expansionist attempts. The US defense secretary is visiting India along with Japan and South Korea amid the ongoing disengagement process between Indian and Chinese troops at the Pangong Tso in Ladakh. A top US commander has told lawmakers at a congressional hearing this week that China had still not withdrawn from several forward positions along the line of control. Days ahead of the Quad meet, Japanese PM Suga also had a 40-minute conversation with Prime Minister Modi. The Japanese PM shared concerns over China's attempt to change the status quo in the East and South China Seas. As Australia's Prime Minister also said there was no reason for China to object to the leaders' meeting. NDTV Bureau Report.
All right, moving on to the other big story. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee was released from the hospital on Friday in a wheelchair with her leg in a cast. Doctors said that the medical board wanted her to stay in hospital for 48 hours, but on her insistence, she was discharged with medical advice. The Chief Minister has been asked to come back to hospital after a week for a checkup.
The hematoma which was there has diminished considerably in size and the condition of the ankle shows marked sign of improvement. The medical board, after looking into her general and local wound condition, decided in favor of keeping her for another 48 hours for observation, but due to her repeated request, decided to discharge with appropriate advices and instructions. She has been advised to review after 7 days. That is right at this moment.
Now, BJP leader Suvendu Adhikari on Friday called himself a Bhumi Putra as he filed his documents to contest the Bengal elections from Nandigram. Meanwhile, both Trinamool and the BJP delegations knocked on the Election Commission's door. Monideepa Banerjee reports.
Drums and dancers on the streets of Haldia, paving the way for Suvendu Adhikari heading to file his nomination for Nandigram, the hottest seat in the Bengal polls, where he is locking horns with former boss Mamata Banerjee. Suvendu was Nandigram MLA in 2016 for the Trinamool. He has now changed colours. No comments on his rival or her controversial injury. Suvendu claimed victory would be his. Trinamool MPs went to Delhi and met the EC, demanding a probe into the Nandigram incident that sent Mamata Banerjee to hospital. It suspects a plot, signalled, they alleged, by the Prime Minister himself, mocking Mamata Banerjee for trying to ride a two-wheeler recently and saying, "What if Didi falls off the scooty in Nandigram?"
There is a nexus between the incident in which Mamata Banerjee was hurt with the tweets and messages from Dilip Ghosh, BJP president. From here, Dilip Ghosh said this, "Didi Nandigram mein gir rahi hai."
BJP too wants EC to probe the Nandigram incident. Many leaders of the party have questioned Mamata Banerjee's charge that she was attacked by 4 or 5 people that day with the intent to hurt and the police was missing.
Video public में आना चाहिए, public domain में आना चाहिए, ताकि लोग सच जान सकें.
Meanwhile, Mamata Banerjee has said she will begin campaigning soon, even if she has to do it from a wheelchair.
A fight that could determine a lot. Imagine this, and then imagine Mamata Banerjee campaigning in a wheelchair. And you know what the stakes are for the bitter rivals for Bengal. With G.D. Shankar, Monideepa Banerjee, NDTV.
Meanwhile, sources say that the Election Commission has sought more details from the West Bengal Chief Secretary on the alleged attack on Mamata Banerjee. The Election Commission sources say that the report sent by the West Bengal Chief Secretary is not comprehensive. West Bengal Chief Secretary has to send his report by Saturday evening. That's what sources are saying. To Tamil Nadu now, where active politician Kamal Hassan on Friday announced his electoral debut and that he will be contesting from Coimbatore South. Now, Coimbatore is an AIADMK stronghold, but there is some discontentment there among the AIADMK cadre for giving that seat to the BJP. Meanwhile, Stalin's son is also in the fray for the first time. Sam Daniel reports.
Actor turned politician Makkal Needi Mayam chief Kamal Hassan has decided to contest from AIADMK bastion Coimbatore South. The veteran actor will not directly challenge either the AIADMK nor the DMK in his debut attempt to enter the Tamil Nadu Assembly. Instead, he will be facing candidates from the national parties, BJP and Congress, and MNM hopes that will work to Kamal's advantage.
தமிழகமே எனக்கு பிடித்தது என்றாலும் பொங்கு செழித்தால் எங்கும் செழிக்கும் என்பது பழமொழி. ஆனால் அந்த கொங்கு ஊழல் கோட்டையாக மாறியிருப்பது சோகம்தான். அதை மாற்றி அமைக்கும் பொருட்டு அங்கே செல்ல இருக்கிறேன்.
MNM had polled 11% votes here in 2019. This is also the home turf of party Vice President Mahendran. But the consistency has been an AIADMK stronghold, with the ruling party candidate winning it the last two times in 2011 and 2016. BJP leader C.P. Radhakrishnan won as Coimbatore MP after the 1998 serial blasts, and the national party's Vanadi Srinivasan, who enjoys local popularity, may be fielded against Kamal Hassan. DMK chief M.K. Stalin would fight once again from Chennai's Kolattur, from where he won in 2011 and 2016. His son Udayanidhi hopes to make his electoral debut from Chennai's Chepak Thiruvallikeni, an area from where his grandfather Karunanidhi has won 3 times.
Are you in a sense preparing him to take over the leadership of the party?
அதை எப்படி இப்போ சொல்ல முடியும்? அவருடைய திறமையை பொறுத்து இருக்கு, அவருடைய இதை பொறுத்து இருக்கு.
AMMK chief TTV Dinakaran, who will contest from Kovilpatti, kick-started his campaign in Chennai today with ally MIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi. It's the first election after the death of iconic Jayalalitha and Karunanidhi, and Kamal Hassan hopes Tamil Nadu will give his party a chance to rule. Some claim Kamal Hassan may actually split votes and indirectly help the AIADMK-BJP alliance, even as the DMK hopes for a repeat of its 2019 sweep and the ruling AIADMK working for a third term. In Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.
Now to poll-bound Assam, where it's raining promises this election season, from the 3 S's of the BJP to 5 guarantees of the Congress. What are these? Ratndeep Chaudhary finds out.
BJP came to power in Assam for the first time in 2016 with the promise of protecting the jati or community, their mati or land, and their bheti or base. The party, which was seen as a Hindi heartland party, succeeded to fill the gap of a strong political force, talking about protection of the indigenous communities. Fast forward to 2021, BJP's campaign theme is Suraksha, Samriddhi and Sanskriti, security, prosperity and culture of indigenous people.
Our track record is there for all to see. Assam for decades has seen all kinds of disturbance, law and order disturbance, illegal infiltration, Bodo Accords earlier, but only in recent months you've seen the remaining rebels lay down large cache of arms, the encouragement being given on the cultural front, to the Namghars for instance.
The Congress also integrated its campaign with the launch of 5G or 5 Guarantee Yatra. It is reaching the voters with its 5 poll promises of passing legislation not to allow CAA in Assam, providing 5 lakh government jobs, raising the daily wage of tea plantation workers to Rs 365 within 30 days of coming to power, free electricity up to 200 units per household, and Rs 2,000 as monthly income support to all homemakers.
Ahom Basa Ahok means in Assamese, it means let's join together and let's free Assam from the clutches of the reactionary forces, from the clutches of BJP.
As electioneering gathers steam, both rhetoric and optics would build up around these themes. In Guwahati with camera person Sanjay Chakravarti, Ratndeep Chaudhary, for NDTV.
The other big story, the links to Ambani bomb scare case to Tihar jail in Delhi a link to jailed Indian Mujahideen terrorist has emerged. Here's a report. The mystery around the Mukesh Ambani security scare is deepening. Now sources have revealed a link to the Tihar jail in Delhi. A Telegram channel used to claim responsibility for placing an explosives-laden SUV near industrialist Mukesh Ambani's home in Mumbai was created from inside a barrack in Delhi's Tihar jail, where an Indian Mujahideen terrorist is being kept, police sources have told NDTV. This was revealed following a raid by a special team of the Delhi police at a barrack housing Tehseen Akhtar. Cops found a mobile phone used to create the Telegram channel during the raid. Tehseen Akhtar was arrested following the 2014 serial blasts in Patna targeting Narendra Modi's rally. He is also linked to the serial blasts in Hyderabad and Bodh Gaya. Meanwhile, the controversial cop probing the death of Hiren Mansukh, the owner of the car found near Mukesh Ambani's home, has been transferred from the crime investigation unit. On Thursday, the ATS recreated the death scene at the spot where the body was found. ATS threw a dummy body in the creek. The ATS suspects that Mansukh was killed elsewhere, his body thrown in the sea to erase evidence. ATS also recorded statements of local fishermen. Meanwhile, NIA, which is also probing the case, visited the areas around Hiren Mansukh's home to check the CCTVs in the area. With Sunil Singh in Mumbai and Mukesh Singh in Delhi, Rohit Wellington for NDTV. Now, 2 days after a Zomato executive allegedly assaulted a Bengaluru woman following a delayed delivery, the accused man has claimed that the woman herself is to blame as she had verbally abused him and hit him with a slipper. Here's both sides of the story.
Since morning and then
Who was the victim? In an incident involving a Zomato food delivery in Bengaluru earlier this week that left a woman customer with a visible injury. The Zomato customer, Hitesha, posted on social media that she was assaulted by the man making the food delivery.
So he took the order from there and I told him, sir, what are you doing? Why are you entering my house like this without my permission? So then he went even more furious and just, he hit me with his hand. He already ran and he was in the lift and I tried to get hold of him. He pushed me again. He hit me here.
So I have picked the item, taken the item from the table and 2 steps back, front to the lift. I walked away and she started using abusing words that started beating in slippers. For my safety, I have hit her hand and in her hand she was wearing a ring. That ring hit her nose. I didn't punch her.
In a statement, the company said, "We are in constant touch with Hitesha, covering her medical expenses and helping her with the proceedings. We are also in constant touch with Kamaraj to make sure both sides of the story come to light. We have temporarily suspended Kamaraj but are covering his earnings. We are also covering his legal expenses." The company also said that Kamaraj had been working for them for 26 months, had made around 5,000 deliveries and had a high rating of 4.75 out of 5. In the absence of witnesses or CCTV footage of the incident, the investigation continues. With Nehal Kidwai, Maya Sharma in Bengaluru for NDTV.
Welcome back. Let's shift focus to coronavirus now. India on Friday reported over 23,000 daily cases, highest in over 2 months. Now, if you see the rise in the number of cases, there's been a 250% spike in COVID cases in the last 4 weeks. Now, Maharashtra has reported over 15,000 COVID cases in the last 24 hours, 15,817 COVID cases and 56 deaths have been reported in a span of 1 day. Mumbai has reported 1,646 cases and Pune has reported 3,184 new cases. So Maharashtra remains a big worry state. The WHO has said that there is no reason to stop using AstraZeneca COVID vaccine. This after Denmark, Norway and Iceland on Thursday temporarily suspended the use of the AstraZeneca's vaccine over concerns about patients developing post-jab blood clots. Italian military has also temporarily halted AstraZeneca's jabs, and Thailand delayed the use of AstraZeneca vaccine. Now, the AstraZeneca, the company itself, has insisted on Friday that its coronavirus vaccine is safe. According to reports, a company spokesperson has said that an analysis of our safety data of more than 10 million records has shown no evidence of an increased risk of pulmonary embolism or deep vein thrombosis in any defined age group, gender, batch, or in any particular country from this jab. The other big story, according to a Bloomberg report, Indian tycoon Gautam Adani has added more billions to his wealth than anyone else in the world this year. The net worth of Adani has jumped $16.2 billion in 2021 to $50 billion, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. Well, that's a wrap on this bulletin from the entire team. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.